It wasn't as bad as people were making it seem. I'm not gonna lie. People were making it seem like it was. I'm trying to name a really bad MCU movie. I know most people say like Thor 2. Captain Marvel? Marvels could have been better. None of the movies really be as bad as people make them seem. People are like, it's awful. It wasn't awful. It was for sure. One thing I saw before the movie came out, they were like, it's an Incredible Hulk sequel. That was true. That was probably one of the most, I think that was IGN. That's one of the most truest things you could say about this movie. It 100% most certainly was an Incredible Hulk sequel. Because, you know, he can't get one, I guess. Here's the problem. And it's okay that it's Captain America. You can cross over villains and stuff. That's cool. Here's the thing. There's a lot of criticism I've seen, critique out there that is true. It does borrow a lot of plot points from Captain America, Winter Soldier, and 3. And it's like, well, it is a Captain America movie, but it seemed like they wanted to take what worked from those and make it work. Because, you know, selling Captain America Falcon is already difficult enough, which kind of begs the question, like, why are you trying to? It's cool he got a movie. It's cool. Thank you. Anthony Mackie got the movie. Sam Wilson, Captain America got a movie. Cool. You don't have to do another one. We appreciate it. It's dope. I appreciate y'all trying to see it. You don't have to give him a solo movie again. So, like, I think probably Comics Explained is the only person that can name a solo Sam Wilson comic book run. He can be around. He can be in the Avengers. Like Captain America and the Winter Soldier was dope. But you don't have to give him a solo movie. You can give him a duo movie. You can give him who would he team up with? He would say Bucky, but you know they already did that. I mean, he could team up with. Who would he team up with? Ironheart? Oh, then was that a DEI Marvel movie? You're not allowed to do those anymore. We got those out of here, so we can't do those types of things anymore. I was gonna say Iron Man, but there is no Iron Man. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But you can do a dual movie or something, but he doesn't need a solo movie. I don't think. Anthony Mackie's phenomenal. He's always great. He's always fun. I thought he was having a little bit too much fun in the role, to be honest. I'm like, bro, like, man, I get it. That's like the MCU superhero roadmap. It's like, be serious, get popular, and then start cracking a lot of jokes. And it wasn't, don't get me wrong, it's not like he was goofy or silly. This wasn't Thor Love and Thunder. It was not that. I'm not trying to take it there at all. And I'm not criticizing Anthony Mackie's performance at all. I just can see how maybe he doesn't come off as charismatic as Chris Evans and Steve Rogers. It's not the same captain. Because, you know, Steve Rogers kind of had that, even though he toned it down, which made sense, like the character progressed, he toned down the, what do you call it? He toned down the, like, I'm Captain America. This isn't right. What? I'm from 40s. What is a movie? You know, he toned that down. He still carried that air of self-righteousness with him, which made him distinct. And then it made it more endearing whenever he started to come around and loosen up a bit, you know? Obviously, that doesn't work for Sam Wilson. He has to kind of find his own character, but correct me if I'm wrong, Falcon has never really had so much character, right? But that's surface level stuff. Okay, so it's a political thriller, right? Inner circles compromised, high levels of government infiltrated, Captain America's not trusted, you're fighting a war on your own, that's Winter Soldier, right? Then you have mysterious, not superpowered, villain in that hoodie, pulling the strings from behind, causing much more powerful forces to go at war with each other. That's Civil War. So what makes this movie different, you ask? Well, Giancarlo Esposito's fun. It's a fun addition. He's a guy that you know what? You know what? I feel like also at the beginning, the first mission when they're at the chapel, right? And then Giancarlo Esposito brings out the big dude that starts fighting Captain America one-on-one, right? Is it just me? Does that remind you of when GSP played that character that was fighting Captain America in Part 2? When they were on the ship and they're fighting, and then you just had the one special ops villain guy that was able to do good martial arts and fight, and was like a good hand-to-hand challenge. And they had to realize, oh, wait a minute, like I have superpowers, and he just kicked him and beat him up. It kind of felt like they repeated that too, you know? And why does Sam Wilson keep getting these challenges that are equal to him? Why does he keep fighting these non-powered people? Besides the ending, of course. But Giancarlo Esposito, all the people, like, why can't he fight? I think that's also the other thing that makes it not as, like, what if he was fighting like somebody like Electro? That would be pretty cool. How do you deal with somebody with superpowers? Okay, the end, I get it, all right? But he's often fighting like mechanical or like analog type villains. Nobody like mystical. Like, what if you had to fight a mystical villain? That'd be pretty cool, no? Okay. So, basically, this is spoilers, by the way. Basically, the MCU finally decided to address almost at Skull Island, Celestial Island. They're calling it Celestial Island. It's a big celestial that came out the whatever, right? And this is what they're going to use to introduce adamantium. I know for a fact they were never intending on doing that. They made it up. So this is going to be adamantium, right? Instead of it being made, which makes sense because honestly, adamantium is man-made, right? It's vibranium and because right, there's vibranium, and then Abraham Erskine was trying to recreate vibranium, right? And he fell asleep and then made proto-adamantium. And then he tried to recreate that and made adamantium. He could never make proto-adamantium. Proto-adamantium was a shield. That's why the shield is stronger than vibranium and adamantium. But he tried to recreate that and he could never. He can only get adamantium, right? We're not going to redo that, right? We're not going to go back to the 40s and keep reversing our history to introduce new characters. And then we could, but we don't. I don't think the MCU wants to continue to retroactively introduce characters, right? And if a giant celestial popped out, there would be something you could get from that. They're definitely made from something so cosmic and powerful. Adamantium, cool. They said it's stronger than vibranium. They said it. Said it's more indestructible. He could just be saying that, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be true, and it doesn't have to be by a large margin. I just don't want it to be, right? I'm just kind of like doing that headcanon because I want vibranium to still be valuable. So the whole movie's about a vibranium race. Cool. Captain America's wings are made out of vibranium right now. It's a gift from Wakanda. You know what I'm saying? To a brother. Cool. But the president, right? Thaddeus Ross, he became the president. He wants an Avengers. Obviously, he's working on a treaty to split up the vibranium, the adamantium. He wants the Avengers back. He wants Captain America. He wants to, show a unified front. I'm not going to go over the details in the entire movie because if you watch the trailer, you get it, right? On Twitter, you probably get it. I just want to be particular with my words. Like I said, it was a pretty good movie. It's probably a 6 for me, right? One, because all the plot points are reused. Oh, you know what? Let's just get into it. I already said the spoilers. Let's get into it, right? It's the leader, right? If you know the Hulk comics, the leader, the villain, we knew the leader from the Incredible Hulk movie. They set him up back then, right? They kind of should have showed a flashback of that because that's something they actually did set up, and which kind of makes you think they were planning a sequel or wanted to have that in their back pocket. And for them to come back and use it is pretty dope. When the Abomination, when he started growing, he accidentally hit the Dr. Stern, right? Samuel Stern, and his blood got in his head and it started bubbling. He got gamma in his brain and in his blood, and he became, super smart and all that stuff from the first Incredible Hulk movie. Basically, after all that, Thaddeus Ross said, hey, it was his fault, we threw him in prison, and he went, listen, if you want to have your life back, we'll remove the gamma, do all that stuff, you got to help me. serve the government, and get me to presidency. Which is really, really messed up. Because Samuel Stearns never did anything wrong. Like, you gotta understand, it's not like, you gotta understand, the Abomination got a better treatment than Samuel Stearns. He was in jail chilling, and then in She-Hulk, he got a trial, he got to go to a nice wellness retreat, he went big, got into a fight, and he's still okay. Like, he was, you realized how he was living, he was chilling, he was calm, like, he had no issues, right? But Samuel Stearns, a guy who literally was just helping the Hulk, trying to figure out his condition. I think he provided him the watch that helped him manage when he was going to transform. Got taken hostage by, I forget the character, the Abomination. He made him turn into a human. Turn him into Abomination. He was like, yo, listen, give me the Hulk stuff. He was like, I think you got something in you. He said, I don't care. Give me that Hulk stuff. And then he got collateral damage, and now he's in jail, and now he's being tortured and experimented on. It's really messed up when you think about it. You kind of understand why he was doing what he was doing. The mind control stuff is pretty cool, pretty scary, that you can just do the flash of light, and it's pretty scary. I'm sorry, let me not just speak like, okay. So how he was controlling people, like Isaiah Bradley, the Black Captain America, was, well, I guess the first Black Captain America. I think the first Captain America, anyway, basically, he would somehow like transmit a flash of light, like whether it be through your phone or whatever, and those flash of lights would program you, and then he'd play a song, and that would control you, right? Now, how he managed to, my guess is that he started testing that on people in his facility where he was being held, and then they would transmit that out, and they would transmit it out, and then eventually he had a whole connection, like a whole interwoven web of sleeper agents he could control. Cool, right? Just so you know, you find out it's the leader like almost immediately. You hear him talk, you see his mouth, you can kind of see he's green, like you know it's the leader, right? There's nothing hidden, right? My thing is his plan was to basically ruin Thaddeus Ross, right? To out him. Cool. And I get it, that makes sense for his character to want to do that. My only thing is that it shouldn't have stopped there at, okay, well now I'm gonna ruin your image, and you're gonna go to war, and you're gonna become a Hulk. Cool, right? Cool. What if your plan worked? What if you went to war? What if he became the Hulk, destroyed the Japanese fleet, took control of the adamantium reserves, and he went, oh yeah, now the White House, America has another hero. I'm the Hulk, and I control things. And then what? Okay, I'm sure you're planning on going, hey, you held me here. Okay, and then what? Oh, let's just say it worked out perfectly. Like, he went to jail and everything. Well, I guess that happened. Now what? Do you feel better? You're in jail. Like, what were you planning on doing next? Just living life? Or, like, you know what I mean? Like, I would like for a villain's final stage of his plan, an antagonist, to come with a new world state. You know, he doesn't have to be controlling the world, even though I do think the leader likes that kind of stuff normally, and like the animations and stuff, that's fine. But I would like what they do to come with, like, if they were to succeed, there to be some type of ramifications or a huge new norm, right? Like, let's just say he could accomplish his plan without killing anybody, which was possible. He just liked to kill people. He didn't have to. He could have brainwashed the guard at his facility, but maybe he tortured him. He didn't have to kill the people when he walked into the house and he's like, hey, Admiral, maybe that was another person that tortured him. So maybe we aren't supposed to be sympathetic towards him. He also didn't have to kill Captain America's friend who was researching the gamma pills, because he ended up telling him about it immediately. It's like he just wanted him to delay. He did not have to kill, really, anybody. And then Thaddeus Ross deserved everything. So what, if he would have if his plan would have went through, what would have been different? He would have stepped down anyway, and then nobody died from his rampage. Like, what would have happened? So, and I'm not gonna do like, here's what I think should have happened. This should have been the movie just came out, corny. I'm not the filmmaker. Although I wish I was, that'd be cool. But I'm not the filmmaker. We're not doing all that stuff. I'll leave that to Nando V Movies. I'm just saying I think that would have made it more fun and would have given it more rewatch value. Would have made me maybe want to watch it again. The only thing I could see myself rewatching it for is just the Red Hulk fight. I will say, I'm all over the place with this. Sorry, this review, recap, whatever. I will say, the choreography for the Red Hulk versus Captain America was perfect. That looked like exactly how that fight should look. And you could tell they did add in the aspect of the Red Hulk being hot. They didn't go overboard with it, but you could tell that was an aspect, right? Like I could see him heating up. He would grab like a car by the engine and it would catch flames and blow up. You could tell that was an aspect that they kept in mind. But the direction of that fight was perfect. It wasn't boring, choppy. Oh, I'm gonna step under his leg, shoot him in the calf. Oh, I'm gonna jump up. Oh, he's trying to catch me like I'm gonna fly in this guy. No, the Hulk was very mobile. He was jumping, and when he would jump into a building, it would mess up the whole building. Like his momentum would crush the building. Captain America was keeping his distance, flying, being agile. Whenever Hulk would hit him, they would definitely make sure to show he was blocking with the shield, which absorbs impact. Of course, there's still some I think it absorbs and disperses all impact. As long as you can hold the shield, I think, he's a human, so he can do that. Plus, he has a suit, which could probably disperse some impact, and then he has the wings, which are vibranium, which can disperse the impact. So it made sense whenever he would grab him, punch him, hit him, that he would be able to withstand such impacts. It is crazy that the final battle of a Marvel movie is the Red Hulk versus Sam Wilson, Captain America. I was kind of hoping, part of me was like, man, I kind of hope somebody comes and helps him. I get why they didn't, because it's your movie, you got to solve your problems. I get it. That was probably the right decision. I just wanted somebody that could, maybe fight the Hulk a little bit more, because but it's okay. I'm glad we're out of the era where all villains have to be copycats of, like I said, I'm glad he didn't have to fight freaking, what's this guy's name? Sidewinder? The Giancarlo Esposito, the arms dealer guy. I'm glad that wasn't like his final battle, like fighting some guy that just shoots guns. He actually had a big, powerful, supernatural threat that he had to use his brain to work around. I liked that. That was good. The fight was good. Hulk was jumping and leaping and he was moving. The fight was smart. And even the ending of the fight, he used one of his wings, which is a vibranium, to stab the Hulk as he was about to land on him. Captured all that kinetic energy, the vibranium does, and then he expelled it while it was inside of him. A huge explosion. Sometimes I like to think of like, this fight happened in the comic book, would that slide, would they write that, and with that, you would think no. Everybody's strong on the comic, but you would think, could that work? He stabbed him. I mean, he did stab him with a very large, sharp piece of vibranium, right? And I don't think Red Hulk has Green Hulk's healing factor. And I don't think we've seen much of Hulk. I don't think Hulk has a healing factor in MCU. We've never seen him like hurt and then like just heal up, if I'm not mistaken. Matter of fact, we've seen quite the opposite. We've seen him get hurt and it last. So I wouldn't expect the Red Hulk to have it. And he wasn't dead. He didn't knock him out. He was still good, and he managed to talk him down. Okay, cool. Only thing they could have added more would have been as he was getting madder, things around him just burning, like the trees around him just burning because he's getting so hot. That's a nitpick. I don't really care. Fight was cool. I just think the leader could have, I wish there was really, besides stopping the Hulk from just killing people, I wish there was more of a need for the leader to not get his way. Because he didn't have to kill people, and if he, besides stopping the Hulk, got what he wanted, and it's like, okay, cool, Thaddeus deserves it. I wish there was a way for him to have a more, an imposing plan, And he's such a small guy. I didn't realize he's so short. I forget the actor's name. I know, I just had it, but But he's a really short guy. He's really tiny. So I wish there would have been more of a way for him to have a more imposing presence when he does show up. I wish we could have seen how he was traveling a little bit more. If he was just mind controlling people, that's cool. I wish I could have seen them turn that lab into a lab where they're building him these little robots, since he was developing weapons for the military. It'd been cool if some of those weapons he commandeered and had his own little gang of people. Instead of just, because his role was literally exactly what Baron Zemo's was, right? Where he's like, I have no powers, I'm nothing, I'm just watching you guys do everything. Which maybe would have been more cool if we just literally hadn't seen that. Be more of a villain, it's not more of a villain, more of a a antagonist. Be a problem that causes Captain America to develop and change and think, and you know, and I understand like Thaddeus Ross is kind of supposed to be that because he's supposed to be like, hey, we have to forgive the people, have to forgive our enemies, got to see the good in people, calm down. I get it. But I would have liked the lead, just like how Baron Zemo wasn't, he was the villain, but sometimes you forget he was the villain of Captain America because it's Civil War. He really shouldn't take the spotlight. And even that I didn't like too much. Like, I get it. I didn't like it being pulled the First of all, I think the Civil War movie happened too early. I think something about right now or even later would have been way cooler. When we have Daredevil and we have the Defenders and we have Fantastic Four and we have the X-Men and we have Spider-Man and all, I think that would have been, and we have Captain Marvel and we have Guardians of the, well, they wouldn't be a part of it, but I think that would have been like way more impactful than just Natasha Romanoff versus Hawkeye, Vision and Black Panther and Spider-Man, but then it's the first time you know what I mean? But anyway, that's besides the point. I would have liked it more if it's them actually at conflict. Like, make Iron Man, but I get you can't really make Iron Man the villain because then you got to sell his next, him in Infinity War. But then he still was the villain because when Infinity War came, that's besides the point, right? I would have liked the leader to do some more diabolical, like have you like on some Ultron. And I know people are like, Ultron, that's the worst fucking Avengers movie. I liked Ultron. Like, I liked Ultron. I think they could have done the movie better, but Ultron, bro. Give him a layer, give him some more henchmen, make him do some more diabolical stuff. Didn't have to be World Takeover, but just, that was my first reaction, but I just watched it like 8 hours ago. Just some more, I would like him to have more impact direct. I want to see him more. I want to see him having some drones, some robot followers, some freaking, what do you call them? Brainwash more followers. I want to see him permeated through more places, doing more damage. But I understand, it's still a revenge story. He's not, in this version, he's not evil. He's just trying to get revenge. It's just he's getting revenge on a terrible guy, and we don't really feel bad. And also, kind of would have been cool if Red Hawk didn't just show up at the end. You know? If he could have done a couple things and been a problem, and could have been rampaging, and whatever. I just think they could have expanded on just to make it more fun, that's all. As far as story and plot, though, I thought it was pretty decent. I say 6. You know what I think is funny? How I said earlier, if you watch the trailers, like you know the movie. Hold on, did I? Yeah, I did. I think that was on purpose. I think they expected this movie to be difficult to sell, and so they just gave you everything. They didn't give you the leader, but that's probably not going to help it sell more than Red Hawk. And so that's why when I was watching, I was like, well, I know the Red Hawk's coming. They're teasing it, foreshadowing. We know it's coming. So I hope when it comes, it's not the end. Maybe there's the leader has something else going on that they have to stop after the Red Hawk, or the Red Hawk shows up and then leaves and they do some more. I hope that's what we see in the trailer isn't the end. That's the end of the movie. And I think it's because, they're like, oh, let's hope this movie sell. So I get it. I hope it works. I hope they at least get their first weekend numbers. People just going to see out of curiosity. But with all these bad reviews, I don't know if people are going to be seeing it twice. I hope they at least make their money back. Because I don't want a movie starring Anthony Mackie to tank, right? Lastly, post-credit scene. Well, first, before that, they brought back Liv Tyler. I was wondering if they're going to bring back Betty. Liv Tyler. She came back. Visited Thaddeus. He voluntarily put himself on the raft. Kind of a missed opportunity. Unless it's not, and we don't know about it. It could be a Harrison Ford thing. I would not be surprised if he didn't want to do more movies. Red Hawk is in the Thunderbolts. We just showed he was in the raft. Thunderbolts is the next movie coming out after Captain America Brave New World. I know MCU is good at hiding things in the trailers. The entire Thunderbolts team is literally just niggas with guns. They're fighting the Sentry. It's like Suicide Squad when they fought the big demon, except Suicide Squad had a demon on their side. And I'm not talking about Amanda Waller. They had the other demon. So that kind of helped. Actually, it worked. They killed one of them, and then they fought the other bitch, and somehow it worked. They killed it. In the other movie, who did they fight at the second Suicide Squad? Who did they fight? Oh, they fought Starro. Yeah, and somehow they make it work. Where niggas with guns and rats beat a space alien. mega ship thing. How did they kill it? They shot it like in the face. How did they do that? Okay. Sentry's not Starro though. Maybe they could do some type of device that wakes him up and gets the void to not be, but yeah. If those thunderbolts beat, you gotta understand, he's turning people into shadows. He can annihilate cities with a thought. He's not Starro, I'm sorry. I'm not saying he's stronger than Starro, but I think he's stronger than Starro. And I definitely think the Void is stronger than Starro. And he's definitely stronger than those two things they fought in the first Suicide Squad movies, yeah. So, get the Red Hawk out of the raft and put him in Thunderbolts. The movie's right after, the movie's right after, it only makes sense. You need, Thunderbolts is normally like, who is it? It's like Red Hawk. I think there's two iterations. Norman Osborn, Iron Man, right? I think there's another iteration when Captain America takes over, when they take over his mind, he becomes Hydra, Captain America. I think he has a Thunderbolts too. And I think the idea of the Thunderbolts is it's a Suicide Squad, really. It's a cool. Bucky comes and runs it. Makes sense. Like, all right, I was one of y'all, come do it. Gets Yelena and Red Guardian, so it's two people from the same franchise. Like, okay. Oh, and Taskmaster. So that's three people, even though Taskmaster is barely in the trailer, if you notice. So maybe they die early. She dies early. So that's three people from the Red Room, same franchise. Okay. Ghost. Ghost had cool power. So it's cool that they're bringing her back. She had a dope power. Cool. And that's it. Then you have Bucky. Bucky, Yelena, Red Guardian, Ghost. And there's Taskmaster. Oh, and then what's his name? The other Captain America. What's his name? But I'm terrible at names today. His name's like Good Soldier or something like that. What's his name? Whatever. That guy, the evil Captain America, right? And he has the super soldier, right? Serum. He took it. Right? Yeah. Right, yeah, he did. Bro, am I watching Black Hawk Down? Like, what is that movie gonna be? It's just gonna be a bunch of shooting. You can kill Taskmaster. Well, Taskmaster's a cool character. Not that Taskmaster though, I'm gonna be honest. That Taskmaster is not gonna be entertaining in the long run. Ghost is cool. You can put Red Hawk in there. Red Guardian, you don't need Red Guardian and, what is his name? It's like right on the tip of my tongue. Red Guardian and Secret Agent, Good Agent, Soldier Agent, whatever, you know, that one, the evil Captain America. You don't need both. You can kill evil Captain America. You can kill him. Boom. Now you got Red Guardian, because he's Russian Captain America. And then Yelena, you don't need Yelena and Bucky. You know what I mean? Like, mix it up. Ghost is a reform villain. Hulk will be a reform villain. Everybody else is kind of already endearing. Bucky can lead it because it makes sense. Let Yelena go be the new Natasha, and then figure out like another villain to put. Maybe Sentry. Maybe Sentry could permanently be put in there. That's kind of OP though. I'm not gonna lie, that's OP. But anyway, put him in Thunderbolts. That should have been the post-credit scene. The post-credit scene was basically the leader saying, "Hey, Secret Wars is coming." That's what he said. He was saying, what did he say? He was like, "I've seen the other worlds. You think you're the only one that's protecting your world? What are you gonna do when you have to fight the others?" Basically, he's saying there's other people that's gonna be fighting for their worlds. You think you're special because you're fighting for your worlds? The incursions are coming, which is basically a bunch of heroes fighting to protect their planets crashing into each other. They're working on Secret Wars. It's still moving forward. Obviously. Doctor Doom Secret Wars, not a Kang Secret Wars, Kang Dynasty, none of that stuff. Who knows? Maybe they'll bring back Kang Dynasty. Maybe Jonathan Majors will have a resurgence. They'll come back with it. They put a lot of resources into that. I think it would be like news. They'd be like, "Oh my God, you signed him again?" But I don't think nobody would be mad if they re-signed him. But yeah, it was like a forced kind of foreshadowing thing. We know Secret Wars is coming. It didn't give us any more information. It coming from the leader doesn't mean anything. It being given to Captain America, Sam Wilson, doesn't mean anything. Yeah, that's my thoughts. I hope that didn't ramble too long. I rambled too long. That's my thoughts. General thoughts. Hey, so if you're here, nobody's probably here, but since I'm here, because you know you're supposed to do this at the end of videos, and I don't want to be holding myself just in case. First of all, like, comment, subscribe, all that, whatever, boom. As you can see, I've been more consistent. I just talk about everything. Listen, I'm gonna be looking at, I'm gonna be going over like Oscar movies too, like blockbusters, the Jurassic Worlds, the Fantastic Fours, the Marvels. Cool, those are fun. They get the attention. But I'm a real like screenwriter, filmmaker, like nerd type. I'm gonna be looking at all the Oscar movies and doing some Oscar predictions, and watching them and all that stuff. Not like watching them on the camera, but like watching them, going over them, and like doing like nerdy breakdown stuff too. If that's your speed, if you're like, bro, why you ain't going to the store? Why you ain't telling me we can do better? Why you ain't? I feel like these type of movies, they don't really matter. Like these are for spectacle. These are for like rewatch and fun. That's how I look at them. You know, obviously you want great story. I mean, James Gunn obviously merged, like, bro, has amazing character storytelling. It's not just him. Like, so, you know, you could do that, and you're looking for that in the movies. But I don't necessarily condemn the superhero movies that aren't necessarily able to accomplish that at the highest level. However, when it comes to these Oscar movies, I'm going to be talking about them, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not super, I'm a film nerd, but I'm also like, bro, I'm still a nigga at the end of the day. Like, some of these Oscar movies, they don't look like super fun to watch. Like, there was a year when they were fun, but we had Top Gun, we had Everything Everywhere All at Once, we had Triangle of Sadness, we had, what else was in there? 2023, I think was that year. Those are hella fun movies. Even the movies that didn't seem like they were going to be fun. Sleepers. The Whale, I think that was that same year. Now I'm going to give them a chance. I'm going to watch them. Obviously, maybe I might find a hidden gem. But I hope they're dope. So I'm going to be watching them, going over them like that. If you're interested in that, like, follow, subscribe, all that, whatever. And check that out. We can have a conversation about that. And then one day, when your boy, you know what I'm saying, when he get a couple more subscribers, we get a couple more, you know what I'm saying, people come ride with me, I master my format and everything, we could watch them live on like Twitch, and if they're on Prime, matter of fact, now I think about it, you know how if you have Amazon Prime and somebody has like a Prime too, you can do like a watch party? I think you can watch it together. I've never actually seen that or been a part of one, but I've heard about it, right? I mean, they own them, so it makes sense. If you have, you know, you do a watch party, you probably have to just like sign in or have a Twitch Prime sub or whatever. But you know how you can like buy every movie on Twitch Prime? Because it's a movie marketplace, like Apple TV. It's not like Hulu and Disney where it's like only certain things are distributed here. Anything on Disney Plus, anything on Netflix, I can buy on Amazon. Everything's distributed, well, except for like some of the, you know, probably the originals. If it's anything that's sold on Amazon, even if it's available on other streaming platforms, or if it's not available on any streaming platforms, you have to just buy it straight. Does that still work, or does it have to be a Prime Video original? I'm curious. Because if not, I'm saying once I get like, I don't know, 10,000, 20,000 sub, get a little community over there on Twitch, we do like the little nerd watch throughs. We do everything, bro. I got a lot of ideas. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let me know what you thought about Captain America, what you rated. I rated a strong like 6, like a 5.8 to a 6. And I'm not trying to shit on it or nothing. If I can't rewatch a Marvel movie and I don't see myself rewatching it, I think it missed the mark more so than if it didn't have didn't tie up the conclusion the best, or have the best, you know, end credit scene. You know, there's certain like different metrics I measure Marvel movies by: end credit scenes, the fun, the action. Action was good. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know how Captain America doesn't get dizzy, but yeah, that's the kind of stuff I measure it by. So let me know what y'all rated, what y'all think. Let me know if you want to see, if you think Red Hulk's gonna be in Thunderbolts, and if you want to see him in Thunderbolts. Expectations for Thunderbolts. Sentry should be dope. I mean, Red Hulk versus Sentry. That's like they redoing the Planet Hulk. They can literally do that. You know what I mean? Even though Sentry is probably waxing, but Red Hulk can absorb gamma. Well, Sentry's not gamma, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, that's besides the point. I'm rambling. This video's too long. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you want more reviews. Follow me, like, subscribe, share. Come on, follow with a nigga that's trying to. Come on, bro. Like, I got the other channel. I'm doing the skits, the MMA stuff. Like, I'm versatile, bro. Help me out. I'm trying, you know what I'm saying? I'm at work doing this shit. Get me out of work.